China has concealed the extent of the virus outbreak in its country and underreporting both total cases and deaths that has suffered from the disease. That's the conclusion of the United States intelligence community in a bombshell report we learned about Wednesday. So, where does that leave U.S. officials in their fight against the pandemic? For analysis, we turn first to Gordon Chang, Asia expert and contributor for the Daily Beast. He is in New Jersey. Gordon, in your opinion, has China underreported its cases of the coronavirus?
Yeah, clearly, Larry, China has underreported coronavirus cases and deaths, and it continues to do so. So, for instance, this week we're getting numbers of 36 or so new infections a day, but they're not reporting any community transmissions. They're saying that any transmissions are from imported cases. In other words, Chinese nationals returning to China. This is a situation which is inconsistent with all of the modeling. It's inconsistent with the reporting that we're getting from inside the anecdotally. And certainly it is not consistent with the way this virus is acted around the world. So I think that we can say with confidence that China is not telling us the truth about the coronavirus infections.
Why would they not? What are they hiding? Why would they not tell us the truth?
Yeah, that's a great question, Larry. And I think it has to do with Beijing trying to give the impression that China has recovered. And because of that, they want businesses to return to China. They want commerce inside the country to go back to normal levels. They're just trying to get China back to where it was before the virus hit. And that is the only explanation I can come up with. The other thing, of course, is that they want to show that their system is superior to ours. So they want to be able to demonstrate that they were able to lick the virus. But it's really hard to figure out why, because as this progresses, we're starting to learn a lot more about what's going on, and the inconsistencies don't do China any good.
All right, so how, Gordon Chang, would you describe United States Chinese relations at this minute?
I think they're tense. My sense is that there is anger at the top of the American government for what Beijing has done. It deliberately hid the virus. It then tried to tell the world that there was no human to human transmission. That led to the epidemic becoming a pandemic. And, as we heard from the White House briefing yesterday, there's a sense that we were misled. And I think people in Washington are pretty white hot angry.
Uh, this Chinese, if we don't get the right information, do you think they send out deliberately misinformation?
I think that clearly that is what they did. We saw, for instance, Beijing tell the World Health Organization that there were no community transmissions, and the WHO put that out on a tweet on January 14th, become infamous. And I think that Beijing did that because it wanted the international community to sort of keep links with China. But what they did, of course, was by keeping those links at a time when they knew about community human to human transmissions, they helped spread that virus around the world. So, I don't know what's in the minds of Chinese leaders, but if they wanted to spread this virus, they did exactly what they would have done. So there's got to be some real questioning of Beijing's motives here.
A National Review article posted online Tuesday asserted that China has to be held responsible for this pandemic. You agree?
I do agree, Larry. It's unfortunate, but this really should have only been a local epidemic in the center of China. But because of the secrecy, because of misleading the World Health Organization and the United States and others, this is now spread to most corners of the world. Now, I don't know exactly how we're going to hold China accountable, but there are many different ways to do that. But that's going to be, I think, the conversation not only in Washington, but also in other capitals as well, as people understand that it was Chinese actions that led to the spread of the virus beyond China's borders. So I think that when the virus subsides, and probably that's going to be in the summer, the conversation around the world is going to be what kind of relations the world will have with China and what kind of costs the world will impose on Beijing for really irresponsible and reckless behavior.
We have heard nothing from North Korea. Do you think they're free of this?
No, clearly they're not. There are hints that we're getting that the virus has spread throughout North Korea. So, for instance, they put foreign diplomats under a 30-day quarantine, which is completely inconsistent with the notion that there are no coronavirus cases there. The border between China and North Korea was open for a long period when Beijing was denying the existence of the disease. And because of the substantial traffic, I'm sure that there have been a number of cases in North Korea which have now probably become a blown epidemic. There is also indications that North Korea is asking for help. Why would it ask for help if it didn't have a coronavirus emergency?
Gordon Chang, as always, thanks so much for your expertise.
Well, thank you, Larry. I really appreciate the opportunity.